to unmute my mic. Alright, so we're back. We're gonna get into writing out another subclass for the monk. We are here. Control C, Control V for a new blank page. Because even though I've got the blank pages, I want to keep them all separated and everything. Pop back into here. That way I can work on this page and still have a blank page to separate the two sections until I'm ready to make something nice to a chapter for films and all that whatnot. I want to work on a monk subclass today, and that's just to start out. Let's see, I did one based on the Ashalan, one based on the Marathi. This one should be based on the Dazi, so it's gonna need some wolf themes. It is a monk, so way of the Fangbound. The way of the Fangbound is a nasty tradition whispered among the wild-born Dazi. Descendants of the old in clans hunted to near extinction. This path embraces the contradiction at the core of their existence. M-dash, part predator, part pariah. And close out the M-dash. Oh, did I put part predator? Not even. Oh, it's a bracket. Please, one moment. Yes. Part predator, part pariah, and forges it into a martial philosophy. Bound monks channel their primal instinct not through denial of the self, but through rhythm and breath in the heat of battle, mastering ancient motion that whoa, I hit something. Motions. Oh, where was I going? I lost my train of thought now. Bound monks channel their primal instincts not through denial of the self, but through rhythm and breath in the heat of battle, mastering ancient motions that once guided their moon-blooded in through war and exile. I think that should be good enough for a lore snippet for the subclass. So what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to make this feel a little bit like hunter guilds, like also they were very ritualistic through physical practices through their hunting. And then there's Siberian animistic shamanism where animal spirits are feared and revered and all feared. So that's kind of awesome. On the mark of the Dazi, regardless, I need to scroll up here and I need to seal my class table because making charts is a pain in the ass. Where to go? It is. We're going to delete all these names. We're making new stuff. So starting with third level, of course. I want to do something that adds to Depth of the Wind because all of my Dazi subclasses have been very movement based. The race itself gets a bonus 2 seed, so I want to do something that feels like animalistic movement. A lot of animals when they fight, they attack while they're moving around. So why do my eyes keep doing that with my model? It looks like a lot of nystagmus just up. There it goes. How drunk am I for my eyes to be doing more to give? 5-minute adventure in and out. So that they'll take a swipe or a bite while they're moving around. So I want to add it to Step of the Wind. Maybe when you use Step of the Wind, you get one unarmed strike when you activate it. No, what? So 5.5E. Actually, one of the few things that I like about it is that they fix the monk, so the monk is stronger as you go. So it's not the same damage all the time with this upgrade with what they call the martial arts die. I want to do something based on that. I want to take that martial arts die, and what I want to do is I want to make this class animalistic because they still use weapons. There's monk weapons and everything, right? So what I want to do is I want to corner this monk in and force them to stay unarmed. And what I'm going to do is that martial arts die. What am I doing, bro? What I want to do is I want to take that martial arts die, and whenever you make an unarmed strike once per turn, you can roll it and you can add that to your AC until the start of your next turn. But with that, I'm gonna have to make limit on this ability. Probably gonna base it off of the wisdom modifier, and then after that you have to use it. That way you can force the monk to drain their ki. You have to force them to use it. This is coming off of a third level ability, and since the martial arts die upgrades as you go, that means this ability upgrades as you go, so I don't have to add anything to it later, which that's what I'm gonna do. I don't want to add things to it later. I hate adding things to them later, having to go back and be like, and then at this level it upgrades to here, and then at this level it upgrades. I hate that. I know a lot of the base classes do that, a lot of the base archetype subclasses. I'm going back 3.5. Okay, then we want to do breath and rhythm, so breath of the blood moon. You honed a breathing technique passed down from exiled lineages, singing with the rhythm of fight or like when you enter combat. No. So I was just thinking when you enter combat, you can activate it and it'll hold for 1 minute, but I feel like that would be too much. Wow, I was not expecting to be this tired at this hour, especially after using the caffeine at the beginning. Whoa, caffeine does not seem to be helping me today. It feels like I'm still tired. I'm just tired faster. So maybe instead of this, we just use of wind. You may make an unarmed strike as part of the same action, same bonus action as step of the wind would be based off. That would be a bonus action. Once per turn, when you hit with an unarmed strike, you may roll your martial arts die. You know what? And add it to your aid until the start of your next turn. You can use this for a number of time. Wisdom modifier for long rest. You can also spend 2 key points to activate it. I feel like that works. I know somebody's gonna be like, it's too strong for a 3rd level ability. I don't care, really don't. Wizards of the Coast has battered down our creep so bad at this point, it doesn't matter anymore. It really doesn't, which makes me sad to say. I think because it's based on animals, specifically the wolf, I want to do something with stealth for this monk. Hi. And I want to get rid of disadvantage for any armor medium and below with a disadvantage on with the stealth disadvantage modifier. And I want to do something where if you don't move on a turn, maybe if you don't move on a turn, any opportunity attacks you get to take have advantage until the next turn. So if you don't move, you have advantage on your opportunity attacks. So predator stillness, while motion is your weapon, stillness is your first strike. That sounds cringy. You gain proficiency in stealth, and you do not suffer disadvantage to dexterity stealth checks or while wearing medium armor or below with the stealth disadvantage modifier. I feel like there's probably a better way to word that. And you do not suffer disadvantage to dexterity stealth checks while wearing medium armor or below with stealth disadvantage mod. I feel like it reads just fine though. There is without a doubt a better way to word that is, but I feel like it's fine. Additionally, you do not move on your turn. You gain advantage on attacks of opportunity you make against hostile creatures until the start of your next turn. Because if I don't put that, I know certain power gamers that will attempt to say, oh, well, since I didn't use it, it carries. So you got little modifiers like that in there. Players give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Give them an inch, they'll solo a Tarask at level 3. I want to do something. What I want to do is I want to add some necrotic damage to the monk strikes. Maybe do something with a constitution saving throw and add some right into it. We're gonna call it Maw of the Inner Hunt. You have awakened the predator spirit within, not as a curse, but as a companion. Oh, that feels very Skyrim. You learn a signature move called the Spirit Fang. As an action, you may make a single unarmed strike on a hit. The target takes additional damage equal to 2 rolls of your martial arts die. Oh, that should be capitalized. Martial arts die and must succeed on a Constitution saving throw. DC equals 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier, or be frightened until the end of its next turn. Additional products. I want to do necrotic damage. You may use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus per. This one is going to be a short rest. You may also spend 2 key points to use it again, because I feel like players are more likely to use the ability. They think they're going to get it back sooner, but then you just never give them a rest. Every GM out there, hey, can we take a rest? No, you may not. Short rests are not great. They always want to take it. They're in the middle of a dungeon and they just got through with like making a ton of noise. I want to take a short rest. Where? Right here. You hear the clattering of guards coming towards you after the motion you made. Oh, but we wanted to take a short rest. That's on you. Oh, where are we though? We finished 6th level, so time for 11th level. I feel like we're going really fast tonight. I feel like this is going real fast tonight, which I'm not complaining about. It's pretty nice, but it's going pretty fast. Let's see. So I give my creatures, especially my bosses, abilities when they get halfway through health, and I feel like it creates like phases, right? I feel like it creates phases in combat when you do things like that, but it's very rare unless it's a specific magic item that players get to do that. And what I want to do is I want to encourage this monk to live dangerously. I want them to try to stay at health or below. I was thinking what I want to do. I want to give some advantage on charmed, frightened, and stun, and some temporary hit points, just encouraging them to stay below half health. If they stay below half health, they get resistance to those effects, and they gain temporary hit points equal to, let's say, their wisdom modifier at the start of each of their turns, as long as they are below half health. What are we gonna call it though? We'll call it resilience. Would it be 1L or 1L or 2Ls? It's 1L. The scent of violence hones your OC with that. While below half, you gain the following benefits. You have advantage on saving throws against charmed, frightened, or I think that's what I was saying earlier. I think those 3 together are the best to give at level 11. I feel like those get used the most, especially against players. You gain temporary hit points equal to your wisdom modifier at the start of each of your turns. That's all you need. That's a very small written ability, and that's going to bring us to 17th level. I actually want to make a callback to 3rd level ability that we made, Breath of the Blood Moon. And I think what I want to do is I want to make it so when you activate it, you can choose 3 creatures within 30 feet who can see or hear you, and you can stun them as you take on wolfish features, because the Dazi can't transform, so you just gain some more wolfish features and you stun them at it right. But I don't want to use fear, I want to use stun. But the core thought of the ability, so what I want to do is if you reduce a creature to 0 HP or you score a crit, you can move up to your whole speed and make an additional unarmed strike, and it doesn't it's part of the same action, like a werewolf's creed, except you're not a werewolf. Maybe, I don't know. I might add some verses and stuff to the setting. Very grimdark, much horror, much wow. What am I gonna call it though? I think we're gonna make a call back to breathing. So alpha breath, not as in like attack alpha, those don't exist, as in the first breath. You become a living echo of the ancient wild-born elder leaders who bore the hunt in silence. When you use your Breath of the Blood Moon feature, you may choose 3 creatures within 30 feet who can see or hear you. They must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. DC equals 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier. They must succeed on a saving throw or be stunned till the start of your next turn, as the ancestral terror of being hunted overwhelms. We'll just put it that way. Once per turn, while a creature is center, if you reduce reduce a creature to 0 hit points or score a critical hit, you may immediately move up to your speed and make an additional unarmed strike as part of the same. I think that's good. I think that also finishes out the subclass. Like, not even being funny.